Welcome back to it. This is still Mzansi Insider on your channel of choice, SABC1 Mzansi for sure. Right about now, it's time for us to get medical with our favorite doctor. Ujani,
Ngisaphila ninjani?
right, yes, sijabulile namhlanje.
I know, exactly. 48 hours to the countdown, guys.
So we want to know, Guti, how do we survive the holiday with all the food and the alcohol and all the things that are happening in Jeleni? How do we make sure, Guti, now we make it into 2014?
I think what you need to understand is you are entitled to have fun, but it has to be responsible fun. You know, at a time like this, we tend to want to drink more than we usually do. We want to eat more than what we usually do. We want to experiment because schools are closed, you've passed, you know, you're feeling good. But at the end of the day, 2014 is coming in and it needs to be one where you're intact. Lots of things can go wrong, so whatever you do, keep yourself safe.
Yeah. What is the common risky behavior that you guys encounter as doctors at this time of year?
The common risky behavior, we need to define what risky behavior is. So it's things that you would do normally out of substance abuse or alcohol, you know, things that will actually be out of character for the normal you. And what happens is you would drink or you would use drugs and you would end up having unprotected sex, which could result in pregnancy or STIs. You could then obviously have clouded thought processes and end up being raped, or actually end up raping somebody yourself and end up in prison. So these are common things, and they lead to things like car accidents as well, apart of course from the unprotected sex that results in the STIs and the pregnancy as well.
So how are the drinking and driving rates at this point of the year?
Horrendous.
Is it?
Horrendous. And that's why you can see the messages now that are saying, you know, make sure that you've got a safety belt on, make sure you don't drink and drive. I think it's very unfortunate how so many things can go wrong because people get onto the steering wheel after having had something to drink, and what happens? You can either crash and die, or you can kill somebody else, and you can end up in prison for that. Or you can even get a disability because of the car accident itself, depending on where you've broken your bones, if you break your bones.
Well, they don't look forward to January because that's poverty month. But what are some of the most common stresses that you guys encounter at that time of the year?
I think you've touched the right one. People spend a lot. You want to impress. You want to prove that, you know what, I'm sorted, I've done well this year, and you go and you overspend. Don't do that. Secondly, I think people also tend to feel like, you know, I have to prove something to other people. I feel lonely. What can I do to show that I'm cool? Don't do that. Remember, you might be having a break now. You need to go back to school. You still have such a long path to succeed. So don't go and tell yourself, I've got enough time, I can experiment. Experimenting, yes, for some people may say it's a good thing in the short term, but think about the long term as well. Yeah.
What are some of the common causes of stress around this time of year?
Well, apart from finances, I think peer pressure is a very bad thing. You know, you wake up, you see your friends, you sleep, you see your friends. So you tend to influence each other incorrectly. And I think the most horrible one as well is group mentality. You know, sometimes when you're on your own, there's certain things you'd be like, I'm not going to shop if I do that. But now when you're a group and you fire each other on, you can easily land into trouble.
You turned up.
You turned up. And you know what's going to happen is when you're going to wake up when they slam those jail doors and you're right inside the cell. So be careful, be responsible, don't do things you're going to regret.
I can definitely tell you that we've had an awesome year with you on that couch every single Sunday. You have been awesome.
Thank you so much. Oh, that is so sweet, guys.
Hoping to see a lot more of you next year.
Thank you. And the last thing I want to say is let us toast and have fun with a little bit of Responsibubbly.
Oh, yes!
Responsibubbly.
Yeah.
Rocking.
Groovy.
Thank you to Dancer for coming through for the last time this year. If you have any questions that you want to ask her, you know what to do. Send them through to Mzansi Insider at bowen.tv. Got the kind of match. Big Nas. Let's rock.